All right, welcome back to the Elias Macko Show. We go now to Joe Adam George, a foreign policy and national security analyst, formerly with the Washington, D.C.-based think tank, the Hudson Institute, specializes in terrorism, Middle East, and South Asia geopolitics. He lives in Ottawa, and he's currently penned a piece called Make No Mistake, The Israel-Hamas Conflict is Canada's Fight Too. Joe, welcome to the program.
Hi, good morning, Elias.
Let's talk. Why is this Canada's fight as well, Joe? Tell us why you think this is for a Canada battle as well.
Sure. So Canada's equity in this conflict for a number of reasons. Israel is a long-term ally. Hamas is a designated terrorist organization in Canada. Canada has a significantly large Muslim population of 1.8 million, many of whom are of Palestinian origin. Not to mention, we also have a significant Jewish population of about 335,000. And also, we have sent over hundreds of millions of taxpayer dollars for a number of years to UNRWA, which is the UN Palestinian Refugee Agency, to improve Palestinian security, governance, and prosperity. And finally, and definitely not the least, we have, as you're aware, 5 Canadians have so far been murdered and 3 are currently held hostage by Hamas. So, for Canada, the long-term, there's both the immediate and long-term implications of this conflict, as we are seeing. It directly affects our interests, our national security, our national unity, as you can see from the protest that's been playing out the last couple of weeks across Canada, and also the fact that Canada, like the rest of the West, have been culpable for having played down the existential threat posed by Hamas. And because we have been funding extremism through donations to organizations like UNRWA, which work in codes with Hamas. So even if the government says that no funds go directly to Hamas, the truth is UNRWA still funnels a lot of these funds that we give them to UNRWA. And we have also been far too lax in our own backyards by failing to exercise proper oversight over domestic charities. And so therefore, our university campuses have also become hotbeds for vicious anti-Western and anti-Semitic sentiment. All this potentially lead us to have, becoming the next jihadi terrorism hub like Europe.
So Joe, you know this. Doesn't the federal government also know this? Aren't there smart people in Ottawa, part of the government, that know exactly what you've been saying?
I am just as clueless and baffled as you are. I mean, a lot of this is pretty straightforward stuff. I mean, we are talking about national security. I mean, about protecting Canadians. I'm not just talking about the Jewish community, but Canadians at large. I just find it baffling that the Trudeau government does not care about protecting our interests or our security, for that matter. I mean, there's a lot left to be said, as you know. I mean, it's this feminist foreign policy that it's a foreign policy that's laced with a lot of virtue signaling and fancy words, and which are practically meaningless.
So, okay. I mean, we're in agreement on this subject. What you're saying here is speaking to a lot of stuff that I've said on this program. So, what is I just don't see how it's politically the right decision at the end of the day. Short-term gain, maybe, but long-term, politically, this is not going to work out. And I wonder if maybe we're seeing it right now play out in the polls. What could be Justin Trudeau's political motivation?
Well, I mean, as I mentioned at the start, it's Prime Minister Trudeau has always relied on vote bank politics and identity politics, to fuel his success. And to his credit, it has actually worked in Canada, as we can clearly tell. I mean, the economy is in tatters. You look at our housing, our defense, everything is in a disarray. But he has managed to pit communities against one another and get away with it. And which is precisely what he needs to stop doing at this juncture. I mean, with this conflict in mind, stop playing vote bank politics. I mean, Israel, we need to support Israel. They have been a long-term ally. I mean, the Jewish community here is hurting at this moment. They need our support and protection. And as you can see, what's been playing out in the streets, the mobs, glorifying terrorism, promoting anti-Semitism is just unacceptable in a country like Canada. We are a country that values the rule of law and order. This simply is unacceptable.
And are there broader implications here, Joe? And I know you highlight this in your piece. Russia, China, Iran, a sort of new axis of evil. Is there broader ramifications to a failure in foreign policy by the Canadian government when it comes to that axis?
Oh, yes. I mean, we've seen recent stories and reports about foreign interference by China and Iran. So, I mean, this is all a reflection of how lax the Trudeau government has been when it comes to national security and foreign policy interests. We have severely compromised in all these areas, and which is what makes it all the more concerning. Where is Canada heading towards? I mean, we are, as the world becomes increasingly dangerous now, especially with this conflict up. Even the U.S. is now prepared. In the southern border, they're expecting there has been an alert of possible Hamas and Hezbollah terrorists trying to enter the U.S. on account of this conflict. But we are nowhere. I mean, we have not been proactive. We have not been serious about, getting our act together. It's all, as you are well aware, as it's been virtue signaling. We have, Prime Minister Trudeau, disappointedly, hasn't supported Israel as much as I would have liked. There's been he and Foreign Minister Melanie Joly have, just been flip-flopping on multiple issues. It's just baffling. I mean, it's
and
so
Joe,
disappointing.
And Joe, can I just to wrap up here? Okay, it's one thing if Canada's failing. What about our allies? Like the rest of the G7, France and Germany and Italy and you mentioned the US, the UK. How are they handling it? Because if the whole West is failing here, maybe I'll be able to give Trudeau a bit more of a pass. How have our allies handled this?
Oh, they've done far more. You mentioned Italy. That's very good. As you know, Italy is not known to be a dominant global player. I mean, Canada's always made the news. We have been historically known to be up there in multilateral agencies pulling our weight, but definitely not Italy. But to see the Italian Prime Minister, Meloni, show up in Israel in solidarity was pretty remarkable. I mean, France, Germany also showed up as well. The U.S., of course, as we read, they've all done, but we haven't seen Prime Minister Trudeau or even, for that matter, have Foreign Minister Joly show up in Israel to express solidarity. And that is, and also, I mean, even on the domestic front, France and Germany have gone and taken unprecedented steps to ensure that this riots don't happen. They have gone all out to protect the Jewish communities. Germany has started mass deportations of people who are causing trouble. France has started to prosecute even school children who, if they are caught cheering terrorism. So, but we have done next to nothing. So, which is why I have to say that Prime Minister Trudeau has been quite disappointing all along.
Well, we're going to have to leave it there, Joe. Thank you so much for coming on the show and adding your voice. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Yes,
that is Joe Adam George, foreign policy and national security analyst, specializes in terrorism in the Middle East. You can read his latest piece. Go look it up. It's called "Make No Mistake: The Israel-Hamas Conflict is Canada's Fight Too."